Boy, have I got some news for you. I happen to know the results for the 2018 Smash Up expansion. Oops, you did it again. Here on the Fell Road Express. Smash Up is AEG's flagship game about taking two completely different factions and smashing them together to form your awesome deck that you're going to battle your rivals with by taking over bases. So, I mean, you've got aliens and dinosaurs. Sure, why not? The aliens and dinosaurs with giant laser guns. I guess aliens also have laser guns. You can put them together to form giant laser-wielding alien dinosaurs. And then, of course, they came out with several expansions, one of which that I got, and one of my favorites, is the awesome Level 9000 expansion. I think it was one of the first ones they came out with. And they came up with some great ideas, some things that the game really needed, like some points tokens. And they also came out with brand new home base cards for the original box, which are pretty much the same, except they have larger letters for reading it easier and further away. So in the new expansion they came out with, well, not new, but in the expansion they came out with bear cavalry, man-eating plants, ghosts, and one of my favorites, the one reason that I got this one over all the other buku of expansions they have, the steampunks. But yeah, you can take two of these decks and shuffle them together to form your man-eating bear cavalry plants explosions. And I guess it's kind of redundant because I suppose bears will eat men anyway, but so will the plants. You get the idea. So you're probably really chomping at the bit, wondering what's the new expansion going to hold. Let's switch over to the monitor to see that we've got the oops, you did it again scale of voting here. This was an audience vote, and you can see that Egyptians were the number one votes. Well, actually, it just says Egypt. So there's no telling what exactly they could go for there. They could go for the Egyptian people, Egyptian places, the Egyptian gods, maybe a little bit of everything. And then in second place came the samurais, and well, I guess people thought you can't have samurais without cowboys, I guess. And then the fourth one is Vikings. So you've got like 50% of these are like NFL sports teams. They should come up with an NFL sports team called the Samurais. Anyway, Russian Fairy Tales came in fifth place, and I didn't realize that there was so much to go off on Russian Fairy Tales. I'll have to look up some of that, and maybe you'll see some images flash on the screen if I find any interesting things. But I gotta say, I was really hoping for the supervillains and the 80s action heroes and the cartoons. I was really looking forward to hopefully seeing one of those factions. I really wanted to see cartoons in the Oops, You Didn't Get an Expansion. But maybe we'll see one of these show up as a special surprise in the box, similar to what they did with the Tornadoes in one of their other expansions. I think it was also an audience vote expansion. And then Lumberjacks came in last place. And I gotta safely say that one of my favorites that I was really hoping was going to make it was Detectives. It made it, I think, to the final 16, but was eliminated going down to the final round. So there you have it. You've got your Egyptians, Samurais, Cowboys, and Vikings expansions for Oops, You Did It Again. So I can only imagine, like I said, the Egyptians, there's so much historical culture there to pull from. Samurais, I think it would be really interesting to see the Samurais be able to combat the ninjas in some way. The ninjas rely on deception and quick attacks and assassinations. So I'm wondering, what could they possibly do to combat these guys, or even make a deck that not necessarily combats them or that can trump them, like, oh, the samurais will always beat the ninjas, but maybe a deck that will play to a different mechanic. That's something that they do a really good job of in each of their expansions, is coming up with a different way of playing the game. And so I'm wondering if samurais will do that. I'm also wondering if samurais and cowboys, or maybe cowboys and ninjas, will work well together. I imagine that the samurais will maybe be experts in weapon use, and the cowboys will be gunslingers and horseback riders, and I don't know, maybe drinking in saloons and bars, or getting into a bar fight or something like that. And then the Vikings, plundering and pillaging, of course. So there's a lot of historical references that they have to go off on this new expansion that they're going to come out with. But there's also something you can do right now to get yourself a free faction for Smash Up, and it's not in any other expansion so far. Maybe it'll appear later, but you can end up with, just by taking a survey, and the link is in the description for the video, the Black Sheep deck. Well, actually, it's just the Sheep deck. But there's one example of the card they have here. It's called Black Sheep by Studio 2 Minds. So that's the illustrator for this faction. The Black Sheep is a level 4 minion, and its ongoing effect is after a minion is played here, move this minion to another base. I guess, no, it's a Black Sheep, so I guess it kind of is like, oh, I don't want to be here right now. Or maybe they just kind of kick him out. I don't know. But anyway, he's got this kind of black emo sheep look, and one thing that they did mention was that the sheep deck is going to have different homages to the other decks that have come out throughout the Smash Up expansion line. So this emo sheep deck, they say here, kind of belongs with the vampires in Monster Mash. So you go to the Smash Up fan page, take the online survey, and these guys can be yours for free as of September 2017. So yeah, if you're watching this video in the future, then it may already be closed. But you never know. Well, I think Smash Up is an absolutely smashing game. It is so imaginative, and you just never know what kind of crazy creations you're going to come up with your man-eating bear cavalry evil plants, or your alien robots, or your wizard pirates, or wizard zombies. Oh man, one of the first times I played these wizard zombies, you do not want to encounter these guys. They just keep comboing and comboing and comboing, and you're like, wait, let me check the rules on that. And yeah, the rules were sound. So, if you enjoyed this video, if you want to check out Smash Up, which I highly recommend for families and friends and getting those kids away from button mashing video games, then be sure and check out more of our videos, like and subscribe, and check out the links at the end of this one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.